once we have collected all the data, for example, you are performing your experiment in the lab, and you have collected the data. Now, how to proceed with the research? Clear? Different software are available in the market. For example, that software which is most common I'm using and I'm suggesting to all my students and all my followers, that use the SPSS. You can have a alternative of SPSS. You can use the GraphPad Prism. You can use the Microsoft Excel. Data will be filled in a particular software. Now, first thing is to find out that are you ready for the analysis or not. Now, what it means? Directly you cannot proceed with the analysis. Here we have a question mark, that either we are ready for the analysis or not. So how to find out that we are ready for the analysis or not? For that, we have to again apply a test for the normality distribution. So test for the normality distribution is have a multiple significance. First, it will let you know that either we are eligible for the mean or median. The answer of that you are going to get. The second, we have to apply parametric test or we have to apply the non-parametric. You are going to get the answer for that. Clear? Third answer which you are going to get is what? Either you are ready for the analysis or not. Now, what it means? For example, most of the human research, whenever we have a human participants and whenever we have a animals in our experiments, we have a one term called sample size. We have to calculate the sample size. For example, I'm conducting a research and my sample size is 150. Either it is animal or either it is a human beings. So after conducting an experiment on 150 animals or 150 humans, either I'm ready for the analysis or not. So answer for this question you are going to get with the help of test called normality distribution. What it means, if you have got a bell-shaped curve like this, exact bell-shaped curve you have got, it means you are ready with the analysis. And if you didn't get bell-shaped curve, you have got the skewness in your data. For example, your data is like this, or you have got a positive skewness. This will be called positive, and this will be called negative skewness. Skewness in the data. I'll write the term here: SKEWNESS. It's a 2 marks question which will be asked in the examination, because we have a BPharm 8 semester student as a participant. So I'll just let you know. And the skewness is the side direction of the data. Whenever we don't have the normal data, so it will be called data is skewed to left or data is skewed to right, or either some book says the data is positively skewed or data is negatively skewed. So both are the same thing. You can say that this is right side or this is the left side. So whenever we have got the bell-shaped curve, it means the 150 participants are more than sufficient to prove that A is causing B. Clear? And if you got skewness in your data, it means that 150 participants are not sufficient to prove that A is causing B. For that, what we have to do now, we have two different options. The option number 1, increase the sample size of your study. You have to increase the sample size of your study. अब कितना increase करना है? Until unless you will not get a bell-shaped curve. You have to increase the sample size of your study until unless you will not get a bell-shaped curve. Once you got a bell-shaped curve, then it's okay. You can proceed with the analysis. Clear? But there are some time-bound studies, because now pandemic situation was going on. Student cannot come to the lab. They cannot work. They have to bind their thesis. In that cases, or for example, you have a academic calendar, and for that within the time limit, student have to bind their thesis, and they don't have time to increase the sample size, because sample size which we have calculated is 150. Now after taking the data of 150, you have checked the distribution of your data and you didn't get the bell-shaped curve. The rule of stat says increase the sample size until unless you're not getting a bell-shaped curve. But for the time-bound studies, when you don't have time to increase the sample size of your study, in that cases, still you can proceed with the analysis, but test will be different. In that case, you have to go for the non-parametric test, where data is not normally distributed. That means you have got a skewness in data, either positive or either negative, like this. And where you have got a exact bell-shaped curve, you can assume that your data is normal and you can proceed with the results with a parametric test. So in statistics, we have a two different kind of test. As I told you, the category is, the first one is parametric and second one is non-parametric. And I think you are able to understand in which cases you have to apply the parametric test and in which cases you have to apply the non-parametric. When you have got the bell-shaped curve, you are eligible for the parametric test. As simple. And when you didn't get the bell-shaped curve, you have skewness in your data. The rule of stat says increase the sample size until unless you will not get the bell-shaped curve. But if you don't have time, you cannot increase the sample size due to any condition, still you can proceed with the analysis by applying the non-parametric test to justify your research, to prove your hypothesis that A is causing B. Clear? So this is the another significance of the test for the normality distribution. So for that, what we have to do, we have to check the normality, and most common example is age and weight distribution. For example, if anyone who is working on human beings, for example, you are working as a cross-sectional study. So in that case, what you will do, you will find out the normality distribution of age. You are going to find out the normality distribution of weight. When the sample is less than 10, then it is not required. When the sample size is more than 10, then we have to find out the exact normality distribution. This is the step for the normality distribution in SPSS, but I don't want to proceed further until unless I'll not introduce you with the software called SPSS. So for that, I have to close my presentation and I'll switch towards the software. I'll show the software screen to you.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri, I don't want to talk. Okay, so let me share my slide again. I just want to let you know that I'm using a MacBook. So might be there will be a little bit difference in the options which has been shown, but I will let you know that where is the difference in the software which you have installed in Windows platform operating system and MacBook. All the queries I will take after the session. I have shared the slide. I think it's visible. Yes, it's visible to all. So, and this is the screenshot of the software, and you can see we have a two different editors. At the bottom, we have a. Let me share the whole screen, because then you are able to see my mouse. That where I want to discuss. Let me stop this and let me share my whole screen so that everything will be visible to you what I am opening in my system. Yeah, I have shared my screen, so you can see this is the overall view of SPSS software which I have already installed, and you can see here at the bottom we have a data view, and second option we have a variable view. For window platform participants, it will be given at this side, on right hand side, with the blue color. The term will be remain same, data view and the variable view. Now, what these views mean? First, I'll introduce this. Data view, I'm at present, this one, will be used to enter the data when you have customized your sheet. That means every individual have to customize the SPSS sheet as per the need of their research work. Clear? So to customize the sheet, you have to go into a variable view. To customize the sheet, we have to go into a variable view, and you can see as I will switch to the variable view, option are going to change. We have got name on the top, type, width, decimal, label, value, missing, column, align, measure, and roll. So if you are able to find out that what is the meaning of all this, that means you have learned something about SPSS. Now, difference between a data view is one more. In data view, each row is a individual patient or individual animal or individual sample in your study. In data view, each row is a individual sample in your study. Whereas in variable view, each row is a individual variable. For example, as I told you, whenever you are conducting in any kind of project or research, you will have a 30 to 40 variables. So each row is a variable in the variable view. For example, I will just add 2 or 3 different variables in the sheet. What you have to do, you have to give the names. For example, the first variable is age. I've written. Second is gender. Third one is weight of the patient. Fourth one is systolic, right, blood pressure, SBP. Fifth one is diastolic blood pressure. Will make 6, and sixth one is the drugs prescribed. Which drug has been prescribed? Okay, so like this, you have to make the name of the variable. Now, points to remember: never write name of the variable more than 8 characters. I'll repeat again: never write name of the variable more than 8 characters. Now, what's the reason? Because everything you are not going to do with a single software called SPSS. Few things you are going to convert your data from one software to another software. That means the sheet which you are going to make here, you can take to MS Office, Excel also. You can take to the another software. So all the statistical software are compatible to each other. So if the name of the variable is more than 8 character, the name of the variable will not switch or shift to the another software. So it is very difficult to understand that which columns belongs to what type of data. And see, as I have given the name in 6 row, and as I will go to data view, I will have a name on the top. In one column, I have got the age. In second column, I got gender. In third, I got weight, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, and the drugs. So currently, we are seeing a data view, and data view is used to enter the data when the sheet is completed. So to modify the sheet, we have to go to the variable view. See, I'm getting lots of pop-up. Participants are joining late, so which cause disturbance during the class. So that's why I asked participant to join 10 minutes earlier. So the first one is the name. So point to remember: never write more than 8 characters. So if you have a name of the variable, for example, name of the variable is systolic blood pressure, having more than 15 or 16 characters, words. So what I'll do, I'll just make it short to SBP, or diastolic blood pressure, DBP. You can write the short form. Clear? Now, second is the type. Here it is asking that your data belongs to what type, as we have discussed in the previous slides. It is numerical. Just I'll add one more variable, date and time. It can be the variables also. Clear? So when you will click on the type, you can see this small box. Along with that, here you can, if you click, you are going to get a variable type. So as we know that age is a numeric variable, that means we are going to enter the numbers in that variable, so we have to choose numeric. But for the gender is categorical, so for that we have to choose the option called string. You are not going to get a categorical term in SPSS, so for categorical type of data we have to choose the option called string. String is the option for the categorical data. As we know, the weight of the patient will be available in terms of number, so will not change, it will be numeric. Systolic blood pressure also available in the form of number, diastolic also available in the form of number. Yeah, but drug prescribed, now here data will be, for example, beta blocker, calcium channel blocker, diuretics. So we have a category, so I will change to string. For date, directly we can choose the date, and for example, this is not time, this is cost of treatment. So I will customize the currency here. So custom currency you can do, or you can click OK. You can customize the currency, that how many INR is equivalent to US dollar or Canadian dollar, like this you can do. Clear? So name of the variable you have to add. After that, type you have to suggest. Now if you do the mistake here in the type, the software will show the error to you while applying the statistical test. Now you can see the changes wherever I have chosen the string in case of gender and in case of drug. Automatically software has made the measure as a nominal. This one you can see this one is the nominal and this one is the nominal. Automatically, as I done the string here, the software has chosen that this icon, this particular variable is a nominal, and nominal will be called as a categorical variable. Nominal will be called as a categorical variable. So here the third option is the width. Width means that how many characters we want to add in that column. For example, if I'll go to data view, I have to write the age of the patient. I'll write 43. I'll write 33. I'll write 55. I'll write 65, like this. Clear? So we are getting after decimal. So that can be removed into option called decimal. Width means how many characters you want to type. For example, here we need only 2 characters, or if we are getting a patient having age 100, then we need a 3 characters. So you can change this into 3, that we don't require more than 3 characters. In gender, we have 2 different options, but in SPSS we have to do the coding. We can write male and female, but if you want to write female, so female is having a 6 character, so you can add it to 6, but not that much important. But if you want to go specific as per the sheet, then you can set, otherwise no need. Now, did you require data after decimal or not? We don't require data after decimal. For age, for gender, obviously no option. For weight, yeah, we require data after 1 decimal. For example, we want to write the weight of the patient is 65.5 kg, so we are going to get after 1 decimal. Here, then 78 kg, 88 kg, 65 kg, or 76 kg we can write. Like this we have to fill the data. Now I'll come to the variable view again to make the sheet. So these 4 we have studied, that what is the meaning of these 4. Now label. The next option is the label. This is very important, that if you want to do a smart work, some of the my students will fill this one and some of my students will not fill this one. That is your own choice. But what is the benefit of filling this? Whatever the graph or the tables will be made by the software, each table and each graph will have a heading on the top. So what will be the heading of table and what will be written at the bottom of table? It will be shown the same thing which you are going to add here. For example, I want to add here the age is what. So I'll write age of the either animals if you're working on animal, and if you're working on participants, you can write participants here. So age of what, you have to write here clearly that age of the animals. Like similar, you can add gender, gender of animal. I'll not write animals, I write animal only. Like you can write weight, now systolic blood pressure. Yeah, because here you can write the full form of the name also, because on the fourth column, fourth row, you have just written the short name SBP. So what was the full form of that? Full form of the that variable can be written here, that systolic blood pressure, and at the bottom you can write diastolic blood pressure. Like this, you have to go on. Okay, either drug prescribed or drug given to animal. You can write like this. Date of drug given. Actually, it will be easy for you to identify, because when I have done my PhD, in my PhD there I was having a 105 variable, 105 variable. So it was very difficult to identify that if you are given a short form and if you are going to switch the data from one software to the another software. So name of the variable, if you have made from the beginning only, then it is going to make your work easy. Or you can write cost of therapy or cost of treatment. Like this you can write. Clear? Now after making the variable, you'll come to the values. This is the most important here. Now you have to decide from the beginning of your project that numerical data you want to show in what terms. For example, you want to show only mean and median, or you want to show in your project that how many animals were having age between 5 to 10 weeks, 10 to 15 weeks, 15 to 20 weeks, or 20 to 25 weeks, like this. So if you want to show your data in both form, so you have to make the two variables of the age. So what do you have to do? You have to insert one more variable. What happened? You have to insert one more variable, and you can write here age category, age capital C. Now this will be your string, because here now I have made it two variable for the age, and this will be called age category. Here in first one, I'm not going to do any type of coding, but in SPSS for all the categorical variable, we require to give a specific code, and most common codes are 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, for that, wherever you have a string option, for example, we have a string option here, we have a string option in drugs, and we have a string option in gender. So there we have to do the coding for all categorical data, because you're not going to write every time male and female, male and female. Code will be given and code will be entered in the SPSS. I will let you know what it means. For example, I'm going to do the coding of gender. So I'll just click on the, you can see a small box on the label this side. And if you click on that, you're going to get a label value. You can write here 1. So 1 means what? You can write 1 mean male. You can add, you can write 2. 2 means female in your project. And I will recommend you to write all this code on the notebook. So whenever you are doing a statistical analysis, the result will be shown in terms of codes. whenever you are doing, for example, GLM or multivariate analysis in that case. Otherwise, for smaller tests like student t-test or independent t-test, we are going to get a term called male and female. But for the advanced test, we are going to get result in terms of coding. So you have to remember that which code you have given to what. Otherwise, you have to go back again to see the code inside the software, and you have to have a little trouble. So what I recommend, write the codes in the notebook so that you can find out easily. Just click OK. So you can see that I have given the code, and the same way you can give the codes of the drugs also. That one is your calcium channel blocker. Here, two means you have a drug called beta blocker. You can write full name. I'm just writing a small name. Uh, 3 1 is, for example, diuretics. 4 means your alpha blocker. Like this, I'm writing antihypertensive drugs. Like this, you can give the codings from, if you have a, for example, 10 to 12 drugs in the treatment chart. So you have to add all the 12 codes in the software. Like this, you can give. And if you want to get your numerical data in terms of category, so again you have to do the coding. The first variable will give you mean and median, and second variable of age category will give you the ranges of age, that how many patients are there between 10 to 20 years, 20 to 30 years, 30 to 40 years, for example, if you want to generate the data. So for that, what we are going to do, we are going to write one means 10 to 20. The same way we can write two means, now don't repeat 20 because 20 has been already given. 21 to 30. T means 31 to 40, and 4 means 41 to 50. Now you have here you have to see that what was the minimum age patient you have got in your project, and what was the maximum age patient you have received. For example, the maximum age you have received in your project is 97. So you have to go code till 9. Okay, like this you can give the code. Once the code has been given, so this will be called as a coding in the SPSS. So once you have given the code, you can switch further into the option called missing. Now what it means, it means I am switching to data view. It is not necessary that we are going to get the weight of all the patient, or we are going to get the age of all the patient. For example, patient number 6, I have not received the age in the data collection form. So this column will remain blank. I'm not going to add anything from my side. Or patient number 7, I have not received the weight, or patient was died. For example, any reason I didn't get the weight. So I'm not going to write anything on the patient number 7. So this column and this column will be considered as a missing value. So we have to do, the variable in which you have a missing value, you have to add, so that whenever you are going to do the statistical analysis, it will be not counted in the capital N. That means wherever you will have a missing value, that will not be considered in the 100%. So in SPSS language, all the missing value will be represented as 999. It will be represented as 999. So we used to write a 999 and 999 here. 999 will be written. Now what it means, why 999? See, the SPSS community is worldwide, and if pharmaceutical companies are doing a clinical trial, so one trial is going on in Africa, one trial is going on in India, another trial is going on in Britain. So they will make a one sheet, and the same sheet will be circulated to all the investigators. So all the person who know how to operate SPSS and they know about SPSS, they know that 999 will be considered as a missing value. Say it's like a universal standard. It will be like a universal standard. But For adding a missing value, there is a command. I have not applied that command. For that, we have to apply a command. For example, we have a missing value in age and we have a missing value in weight. So in the row of age and in row of weight, we have to add the missing value. That discrete missing value will be 999 and okay. And here also we have to show the discrete missing value as a 999. See, it's not a 999. If you want to keep as a 99 or 49, you can keep, but universal standard says we should keep the missing value as a 999. Okay, so this column and align is not that much important. The column means that how much space you required. That means you need this much space or you need this much space to write the data of systolic blood pressure. According to that, you can adjust the space. And alignment means that you want to keep your data on left hand side, right hand side, or on the center. For example, age I will keep on the center and the remaining I'll keep on the left hand side. Weight I will keep on the center. So it's your wish that where you want to keep. You want to keep the data on left hand side or you want to keep data on right hand side. See how it will be look. What I recommend that if you have a two numerical variable together, then keep both at the center. Most commonly, all the numerical variable we will keep at center and all the categorical variable we'll keep on the left hand side. Now, last two things are remaining: measure and roll. And if you have just let me check. Yes, yeah, measure and roll. Very important. What it means, first I'll let you know the significance of this, then I'll come to how to do. Whenever we are conducting a research, as I told you, we have to identify that our data belongs to what type. It is numeric or it is categorical. If it is categorical, software is going to make nominal automatically. That you can see that in 3 rows we have a option called nominal. So nominal will be called as categorical only. So we don't have to do anything. But where it is not mentioned, for example, on the age I have written scale. Weight I am doing scale. Systolic blood pressure I am going to do scale. Diastolic blood pressure I am going to do scale. Date I will keep ordinal and cost I will keep ordinal. Now you can see why I have kept date and cost as a ordinal and age, weight, systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure kept as a scale. And you can see the sign of scale is like a ruler only, which our students are using a normal scale made of a plastic or steel. So the sign of this icon is representing something in SPSS. Scale will be given to those variable in which there is some sort of measurement unit is there. For example, age we cannot measure because age is not a measurement unit. So I have to change instead of scale to ordinal. In stats, numerical data are representing into 3 different types. One will be called scale, second will be called ordinal, and third will be called nominal. Nominal is the categorical, so we'll keep aside. Now we have an option from scale and the ordinal. Scale will be given to those variable where we have some sort of measurement unit along with the data. For example, with weight we have a measurement unit. For example, we can measure the weight of the patient or weight of the animal in kg, in grams, or in some sort of measurement unit. So for those variable we have to write scale. And for those variable where measurement unit is not there, for example, age is not the measurement unit, but it is a numerical variable. So we'll make this one as a ordinal. it is in the ranking order. Now ranking order means what? That if 10 person are participating in a race, then obviously three person will come. One person will come first, one second person will come second, and another person will come third. So there is a ranking order: first rank, second rank, and third rank. When ranking order is there, that's why it's like a mobile tower, or like a Olympics platform where the medal has been given, that rank 1, rank 2, or rank 3. So ranking order will be followed for those variable where measurement units are not there, but data is given in terms of number. So here we have a numeric for the cost, but it is a ordinal variable. It is not a scale. Now if you choose this thing wrong, the software will not apply the statistical test. The software is going to show the error to you. You are going to get a error in the software while applying the statistical test. For example, this thing you have chosen wrong. For example, to age, I will make a nominal, because age, data of age I have entered in terms of numbers here. So I cannot apply the statistical test unless I will not make this one as a either scale or either ordinal, because it's a numeric. So this thing should be chosen very precisely, so that you will not get any kind of error while applying the statistical test. I'll repeat again: scale will be chosen to the variable which is numeric and having measurement unit along with that. Systolic blood pressure is having a measurement unit, because you are going to measure the systolic blood pressure of the patient, and unit along with that is mmHg, mercury, in millimeter mercury. So I have written as a scale. Nominal will be chosen for the categorical variable where you have done the coding. So wherever you are going, you have done the value label or coding 1 to 3, here you can choose the option called nominal. And ordinal will be given when measurement unit is not there. You have only numbers, and number does not contain any sort of unit. So that for that case you can choose the ordinal. And the last one is the role. Now it is asking, the software want to know that what is the role of age in your research. It is a independent variable called as input. It is a dependent variable called as target, and some variables are there which will act as both. So we'll choose both, or we'll choose only age. That most, as I told you, most of the demographic profile of the patient, like age, gender, then height, weight, belongs to which area, all these things will be considered as independent variable, whereas all the lab values will be considered as a dependent variable. Drug given will be considered as input, because you are giving a drug, and after giving the drug there will be a change in systolic blood pressure or diastolic blood pressure, so that will be considered as target. Systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure will be considered as target. Clear? Drug will be input, date will be input, cost can vary. Cost can be the target. You want to identify that what was the cost of the treatment, so it will be considered as a target. But some variables are there which can be considered as both, so you can choose this one. So it is not going to play that much important role, but it will help you to find out that which is my independent variable and which is my dependent variable for the research. So like this you are going to customize the sheet, and how you are going to enter the data. A few variable I have already done. Now you can see, if I want to find out that fill this variable age category, so I will not add 21, 20, 31, 30 or 41. I will just add 4, because I have entered just 4. Or I'll change the, see on this icon on the top where it has been written A and 1. This will be used to switch the code. That means you can see exactly which code you have entered. To see the code, you can see this variable, it is 4, and if I click this one, it is showing meaning of 4 is what? Meaning of 4 is patient having age 41 to 50, because it is 43 and 43 lies between 41 to 50, so I'll choose 4. Clear? And here I'm going to choose option called 3, because 33 comes under this. Here I'm going to choose 5, and here I'm going to choose 6. 6 we are not going to get any data because we have done the coding till 40. So for that we have to do the coding, then we are going to get here. Gender also we can add that 1 is male. As I'm writing 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 and 2. Now what it means, I'll switch to another window. You can see this column that this is the male and female. So whenever you are going to enter the data and your, for example, patient number 9 is having age 34, you are going to write, and you have to write 3 because it belongs to between 31 to 40. So the code 3 is there. If it is female, you are going to write 2, weight 78 kg, systolic blood pressure is how much? You can write 135, diastolic blood pressure is 95, drug given. Now which drug has been given? We have done the coding of 4 drugs. So for example, code number 3 has been given, so I'll write 3. I'll skip like this only. So on date, it was at, when the drug was given, we can write the date directly. For example, today's date 18-06-2021. You can change the, see, it has not been entered because we have to choose that what will be the style, writing style for the date. Writing style of the date is this. I have to enter in this form only. Day, date, then the hyphen, then month in 3 digits, then year in 4 digits. Like this only we can add, or either you can change to this one, the form I was typing. So month is in first, then date, then year. Now if you choose this, you can able to enter the date. I'll just write month is 06 dash, it is 18 dash 2021. So now it will be visible. Now see, it's visible. Cost directly you can enter that how much cost was spent, like this. So like this, I have entered the data of patient number 9. You are going to follow, and if you want to see the code where you have done the coding, you have done the coding in age category, in gender, and in date, sorry, in drugs. So you can switch to this icon where 1 and A is written, and you can see that diuretic was the drug which was given. You are going to write the name of the drug full. She was male, and this is the category that this particular patient having age 34 belongs to this one. So how to find out? So like this, you have to make your own sheet and enter the data. So you have to make the variable. For example, if your study is having a 40 variable, so you are going to reach till last. So at present, you can see we have made a 9 variables. So you have to count that how many variables are there in your study, so you can make in the special sheet. But the points to remember, data view is used to enter the data. One sheet has been customized, and variable view is used to customize the sheet. And where the most common mistake will be done by the participants are type. For numeric, choose numeric. For category, choose string. Measure, as I told you, that is also very important. Nominal for categorical data. Scale and ordinal for the numerical data. Scale will be used, data having any sort of measurement unit along with that. And data, numerical data which does not contain any unit, for that you can choose the option called ordinal. Clear? And this option, data view and variable view, will be seen at this side for the persons, those you are using a window operating system. Clear? And for Mac version, I'm getting all the SPSS commands on the top. You can see I'm getting all these commands on the top. But for the window platform persons, you are going to get a command not on the top line. You are going to get command above these icons here where my mouse is there, here you are going to get all the commands will be the same: file, edit, view, data, transform, analyze. Clear? And I'll show you that from where we are going to apply all the statistical tests. As we have discussed that we have two different kind of tests. One will be non-parametric, so this command is used for the non-parametric test. And compare mean, this command is used to apply these are all parametric tests: one sample t-test, independent, paired sample, one way ANOVA. We have a general linear model, we have a linear regression analysis. So multiple things can be done with the software. It is having a huge significance. So this is the way how we are going to make a sheet. And if any person is having a query related to how to make a sheet, I'll happy to take. Yes, please. Because now only I can teach you that my data is like this. I have this kind of variable. So how to add, how to make, so that I can suggest something. For example, if a person is working in a pharmaceutics department and they are working on drug formulations, so how the coding for the formulation will be done? Because this one, what I have told you, age, gender, systolic blood pressure, diastolic, that is related to the medical field. For the management person, you can add, for example, instead of drugs, you can have a options like one will be excellent, second will be good, third will be very good, fourth will be very poor, when you are taking some sort of survey or opinion poll. So the coding will be done like this. Just so any person is having a query, I'll happy to take. Please let me know, or I'll just see the chat box. I'm still confused.
Sir, do give some input about how to prepare for formulations development.
Yeah, formulation development, I'll let you know. See, for formulation, what you have to do, for example, you are having a 3 formulation to evaluate. For example, so what you can do, you can write the formulation here. Clear? It should not be more than 4, or just write formulation like this form, and it will be your string variable, because category will be there. Okay, and here you can write formulation type. Clear? And here you can give the variable. For example, you are using a span 18, or okay, different spans are there, if different kind of surfactant. Clear? So for one you can use, for example, you have used 80, span 80, you can add. And for second formulation you have used another surfactant, span 100, you can add. Or for third one you have used another surfactant, so you can directly write the name of the surfactant only. So like this, if you have a 5 formulation, so you have to give a 5 different codes. So once 5 different codes will be given, you can come to the data view, and here you can choose that this for example, you are doing a test for dissolution. Clear? So one more variable will be made, and here you can write ISO. Clear? And the reading of the dissolution will be in numeric, because you are finding out that how much minutes will be taken by drug to dissolve. Clear? So here you are going to write dissolution time. There will be some spelling mistake because I'm just typing like this only. And here no need to do any coding, and like this you are able to fill the data. For example, span, this is your first formulation, and dissolution time is 12 minutes. Second formulation you are having, this one 100, time will be 13 minutes. Like this you can make a sheet. So if you have a 6 or 7 parameter to evaluate, you have to make a 6 variable or 7 different variables. For example, this is dissolution, this is viscosity, this is for surface tension, this is for another variable, hardness of the tablet or whatever. So for each particular parameter you have to make a separate column, but groups will remain same. It will be something like a group. Clear? Any other person? Please explain about role. I'll see the from the beginning only, all the comments. Just wait. Please tell me how to install the software. I tried many times as you, but not successful. See, as I told you, just you go to website called Get Into PC. Their instructions are there. If you follow the instruction, I don't think you will find any problem. There is a route. The route, as I have suggested to you in the last class, if you have a window platform, then go to your C drive. In C drive, there will be a program files folder. Inside the program file, you have to find a folder called IBM. Then inside the IBM, you are going to get a folder called SPSS. Then the version number, either 25 or 26, which you have downloaded, and there you have to replace the IRSVRC file, the name of the file which I have given you yesterday. That file you have to replace. Before replacing the file, do not open the software. If the software has been installed once in your system, close it, restart your system, replace the file, then open the software. Otherwise, it will not work. A few of the participant was talking with me on the WhatsApp today, and I think more than 7-8 participants have downloaded the software from the same procedure which I have guided yesterday, and they have successfully cracked the same. See, there is no difference between the version number. If you have a SPSS 21, it is okay. You can still work with SPSS 21. I will let you know what is the difference between 21 and the higher version. For example, I want to find out that how many male and female are there, or I want to get a descriptive statistics. So I will have a right click on my mouse, and I will get the descriptive statistics like this only, that how many males are there and how many females was there. So shortcut commands are there on the right click. But for the previous version 22, 21, you have to go to frequency. You have to go to frequency, go to analyze, and go to descriptive statistics, and go to descriptive. Then you have to add the variable that for gender you want to find out. I'm not getting gender here. Just check it out. Analyze frequencies. Yeah, gender, and go to statistics. Then you have to choose that mean. Obviously, it's a categorical variable, so we are not getting a mean or median for that or anything. We just click continue or OK. So like this, we are going to get a graph. So we have a shortcuts command in the higher version, and in previous version, we have to go through a route. This is the difference. You will go through analyze, then descriptive, and here frequency. Otherwise, what you are going to do, you are just right click on the gender, and you will have a descriptive statistics. You are going to get key how many male was there, how many female, what was the percentage, why we used valid percentage, and which cases we use cumulative percentage. This we will discuss in the further class. Where valid cases 9, missing cases. Now you can see the age of the patient is, I have added 999. So it is showing that missing cases, we don't have anything, and it is showing a mean 59. Clear? 999 was not considered as a age of the patient. Otherwise, it has been reached to the 130 or 170. I'll just see another queries. How many individual sample size I need to do normality? As I told you, if your sample size is less than 10, then this rule will not work for you. You have to check the normality of your numerical variable when the sample size is more than 10. See, yeah, I have confused about age becoming an ordinal variable. See, age is having a unit that is in years, and it is not a measurement unit. Measurement unit will be called either in centimeter, millimeter, height, or meters. That will be called as a measurement unit. That is another unit. For example, we have a unit degree Celsius along with temperature. So For that also we have to keep a ordinal. We cannot keep a scale. Please explain about the role. I did not understand that for what role you're asking about. I am having SPSS version 20. It is sufficient. Yes, it is sufficient. No need to go to higher version. It is going to take extra space in your laptop or system. What code to enter against the empty column, as we give codes for some age category? What code to enter against the empty columns? See, for empty columns, we are not going to enter anything. What we used to do, whenever we are proceeding with the research, empty columns will remain blank. Empty columns will remain blank. I will not enter a 999 here, and I will not enter 999 here. These columns will remain blank, and whenever you are filled all the data in the sheet, that time we have to apply the command for the missing value. Here we are going to get a command for the missing value in the transform. I will show you, or directly we can go from the variable view, as I told you. And that time, once we will add the missing value from here, that time all you don't have to type 999. Once you will give the command here, all the empty spaces will covered by the 999 by itself only, automatically. So even you don't have to type the 999 in the software. Automatically, all the empty columns will be replaced with the 999, and only those cases will not be considered equivalent to 100%. That means if you have a sample size of 100, and out of 100 there is a 3 blank columns, so your actual n will be considered as 97, and that 97 will be equivalent to 100%. That will be there. I'm doing in vitro assay. I'm getting a different parameter value like interferons, gamma, and cytokines 1, 2, 3, etc. with different time intervals before treatment and after treatment, and how to make a sheet. See, before different interferons, you have to make a one variable only. That means on single variable, like I have made a dosage form like this, you can make a variable called interferons, and under that you have to do a coding for interferons 1, 2, 3, and 4. And for example, this is column, you can choose instead of 81 or instead of 100, 2. And for before and after study, one column will be made reading before, and another column will be made for the reading afterwards. And there is a special test called paired sample t-test for the study like before and after. So that test we are going to do after 4 or 5 days in 4th or 5th class. So that time I will show you that how I have added data for the study for in which we have to proceed for a data called before and after. What is the minimum sample size for the quantitative study in case of experimental study for the survey region? See, I have studied several books related to the sample size. In previous days, what the author used to call, now we have a different software like AppInfo, RawSoft, which will help you to calculate the sample size for your work. And I'm going to take one class on the sample size also. There I'll teach you manually how to calculate, and with the software how to calculate the sample size. But in previous days, what different book used to recommend, that number of variable you want to evaluate. For example, you have a 10 variables to evaluate, so sample size into 10. And if you have a 15 variables to evaluate, so sample size will be 150. That was the previous method when there was no software, because this is the most common question in the whenever you are defending your master's thesis or your PhD thesis, that how you have calculated the sample size. So nowadays sample size will be calculated based upon the type of study design, type of the work you are doing. Different formulas are there and different software are there which will calculate. And one more thing, how much error the researcher is expecting. Based upon that, the sample size varies. For example, in academic research, we are taking a confidence interval of 95%. We are assuming that 95% of our research is genuine, and there can be a error that will be equivalent to 5%, not more than 5%. So 95 and 5, that is a thumb rule for the academic research. Because of that, we have got a p-value 0.05, which we are going to discuss in the further classes. So you have to find out that how much error you are expecting, what is the confidence interval of your study in terms of percentage, 96, 95, 97, 98. According to that, there are different formulas are there, and if you're going to add all these things in your formula, that the area where you are working, for example, you want to do a survey, so what was the population of that city where you want to do the survey, so that will be considered as capital N, and from capital N you have to calculate the small n. Small n will be the sample size and capital N will be the population size. So from capital N, small n will be calculated. How to download the software for the Mac? See, the process is the same, sir. As I told you yesterday, you can download the software from Get Into PC, and once you will install, don't run the software in your system. As I told you, I will show the commands for the MacBook also, how to do it. There will be one file which will be given along with the software. Name of the file I'm going to let you know right now only. So that file you have to replace into a particular folder. I'll show which one is that. But I have to end the presentation. Just wait. So for that, what you have to do on your PC, just come to the first on your desktop, and on your desktop there will be option called Go to Applications. On Go, you are going to get an option called Applications. Inside the application, you are going to get a folder for the IBM. Open that folder. Now from here, root will be the same. Till this folder, the participant, those who are using a Windows operating system, they are going through C drive. After the C drive, there is an option called Program Files, and inside the Program Files, you are going to get a folder called IBM. So till here, the root is different. After that, IBM, you are going to get a folder SPSS, then Statistics, then version number. I'm using version number 25. And for Windows person, they have to replace file here only. But for Mac, you have to go to license. And under the license, this file you have to replace. And this is the name of the file which you have to replace. I think I have added a extra A. Yes. So name of the file I'm going to add in the chat box. This one is the name of the file which we have to replace. So with the help of, it will ask you for the pop-up. So you have to say, yes, I want to replace. And once the file will be replaced, then you shut down your system and reboot again. Then open the SPSS software. You are going to get a command note that your software is registered and 5,010 days are remaining. As I will open the SPSS software, I'll show you. I'm going to close this one, and you just see that how I'm getting a command. If I'll open a SPSS, it will show that how many days are remaining. As I have cracked, it is showing that around 5,000 something days. This is the version number. See, from here you can identify the version number. And if any person is having a problem for cracking the software, what they can do, they can use a different platform are available on the internet. You can share your screen with me anytime, and I will help to crack. You can see here that you have 5309, more than 5,000 days left in your trial. It is not a registered, it's a trial version, but so many days in the trial, more than 10 to 15 years. So no need. So if you not crack, if you not replace that particular file which I have mentioned to you, it will work only for 30 days. So I think all are exhausted, and test for the normality distribution I'll take tomorrow. If any queries you can ask, otherwise I'll stop the session here only. Yes, please. Anyone?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask if we are performing a survey, then most of the variables are categorical variables in a survey.
Yes.
And for that, you told us if our project is ready for the analysis or not. So when whole survey is based on categorical variables, then on that also we apply normality distribution, that bell-shaped curve, or how do we?
Normality distribution will be applicable only for the numeric variable. Clear? If your study is having none of numerical variable, then this rule is not applicable. Directly you can proceed with the obviously for categorical variable only one test is recommended, and that is chi-square. So you don't have any other option to go. If you have a numerical variable, then you can switch to the other statistical test. And if all are categorical, then you don't have any other option. You are not bound to the test for the normality distribution. Test for the normality distribution is required and mandatory for the studies in which you have a numeric variable like age, gender, weight, or any kind of numeric variable where sample size is more than 10.
Okay, sir.
And
Yes, sir, because I was thinking that since I am into this, so I was thinking that maybe my sample size is not enough, since you quoted this earlier, that
No.
you have to increase the sample size and all.
No.
Okay, thank you, sir.
If अगर एक भी वेरिएबल आपके पास न्यूमेरिक है तो आपको चेक करनी है, अदरवाइज नो नीड.
Okay, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no issue. Yeah, any other participant, please? If not, so okay, I'm going to end up the meeting. I'll just stop the recording, and recording of yesterday's session I'm going to mail right now only to all the participants. You are going to get within 5 minutes, and recording of today's session you are going to get tomorrow morning. So take care.